And at number 10, Haley Grice. In July of 2020, Dan Bilzerian was rumored to have dated Instagram model Haley Grice. Neither one of them confirmed that the relationship was official, but from their social media activity it's clear that they saw each other for a long time. It looked like the couple also social distanced together, which obviously would form a close bond. Dan posted a couple of photos with Grice from his home in Bel Air during the period where LA was not allowed to go outside. He also shared that she was helping him write his autobiography while they had some time off from traveling and living his usual lifestyle. On April 6th, he shared a photo sitting on a sofa and typing something on his laptop while Grice sat beside him. He wrote, quote, "writing my book" in the caption. Months later, he confirmed that he finished this book, and she was also featured in that photo, making clear that Grice was a mainstay in his life. Nothing more can really be said unless the pair confirm they are together or have broken up. And at number 9, Sophia Beverly. Sophia Beverly is one of Dan Bilzerian's most famous relationships because he says it was his first monogamous relationship ever. They started dating when she was 21 and he was 37 in 2017. They have a 16-year age gap. The couple met at a pool party, and even though Dan hooked up with multiple other girls while at this party, he claimed it was love at first sight, and she was different from these other girls. While speaking with Square Mile about the relationship, he admitted that he had girlfriends before, but these were open relationships, and he was still able to sleep with other women. But with Sophia, he didn't mind things being monogamous. He said about the relationship, quote, "we just started hanging out. She's just a little different, you know? She's smart, she's cool, and she likes a lot of the stuff I like, so here we are." After his breakup, he claimed his taste in women changed a lot, and his standards for who he would pursue went way up. And at number 8, Morgan Hultgren. Swedish Instagram model Morgan Hultgren has been linked to Bilzerian in the past, and it's been rumored that they were once officially dating. Even though the pair haven't announced publicly being in a relationship, lots of online tabloids mention they were an item. Morgan was born in Sweden and decided to move to the United States to pursue a career as a full-time model. After being linked with Dan, her career got a significant bump. When speaking about the potential romance between her and Bilzerian, she once said, quote, "what pisses me off is the fact that because I've dated someone in the public eye who's openly promiscuous and provocative, that I in turn must be the same way. I must have low standards and low self-esteem and little respect for myself, and it's the exact opposite." And at number 7, Katie Bell. Katie Bell and Dan dated back in 2018. The way they met is most likely the way that Dan meets a lot of women. Belle DM'd him some photos of herself after finding out who he was, and the next day they started talking and an instant attraction sparked. Only a few days later, he said he would fly her out to LA so they could meet in person. Apparently she took some time to decide if that's what she wanted to do, but after a few days they agreed he would send a private jet to Tampa to pick her up and bring her to him in LA. They started dating soon after, and by late September of 2018, Belle had already appeared in a bunch of Dan's social media posts, and she started gaining tons of followers on Instagram. The pair were together for about a year, but from what we have heard from Dan, this relationship was not monogamous, and he was sleeping with other people during their relationship. The pair split in the fall of 2019 and have stayed on good terms. She often thanks him for making her famous. And at number 6, Desiree Schultz. Desiree Schultz is a model based in LA, and they first started seeing each other in June of 2019. It seems there may have been some overlap with Desiree and Dan's last fling with Katie Bell. The pair were spotted on his Instagram many times over the course of their relationship. They even went on a trip to Thailand together in September of 2019. After Desiree and Dan broke up, she moved on to Love Island contestant Joe Garrett, although that couple broke up in April of 2021. A source said about their split, quote, "over lockdown, Joe went to America to be with Desiree and was there a few months, and then went to Dubai together again for a couple months. But Joe had to return back to the UK for work and Desiree to America for work, and just being a long distance relationship wasn't going to work out." Adding, quote, "it's amicable and they're going to stay friends." Halfway number 5, Lady Amelia. Dan and Cuban Instagram model Lady Amelia had a fling in summer of 2019. We've gotten very little details on the extent of their relationship, but it's clear they had a fling for at least a few months. In July of 2019, Dan and Amelia, along with some other girls, went on a European tour. It's clear that Amelia was special because Dan posted a photo of Amelia with her on his lap. She then posted this same photo and captioned the image on her page, quote, "my king." In many of her posts from that trip, she hinted that she and Dan were in a relationship. She is currently signed to Next Models and is furthering her model career, and it seems that her and Dan are in good terms since the split. And at number 4, Hannah Palmer. Dan and Hannah Palmer were rumored to have dated sometime in 2018. Dan rarely parties with the same girls twice, so when Hannah was seen partying with Dan multiple times, it was clear that she was someone special to him. In September of 2018, Dan shared their photos from what looked like their getaway on Instagram. Palmer was born in Arizona and went to university there, along with attending beauty school. This is where she fell in love with fashion and modeling. She decided to launch her career on social media, and she posted tons of photos of herself on Instagram. After gaining some traction, she entered a competition to be Maxim's next cover girl, finishing 34th overall. This is around the time she caught the attention of Dan. Since then, she's gone on to model for huge brands like Fashion Nova. And at number 3, Sulin Medeiros. Sulin Medeiros and Dan Bilzerian dated around 2018. Neither party has confirmed when exactly they started hanging out or when it ended, but they appeared together several times by the middle of the year, so it was clear they were seeing each other in some capacity. They went on a special trip to Armenia together while they were dating. This was special because Dan has Armenian heritage. Medeiros was also spotted hanging out with Dan and a group of other girls in Thailand later that year. She was born in New York but grew up in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. She later moved back to the States to pursue her dreams of becoming a model. Other than her relationship with Dan, she's been linked to other celebrities like Canadian businessman Joe Salvatore and singer Chris Brown. Her and Chris were spotted in a hotel room cozying up together, which sparked the rumors of their relationship. And at number 2, Lauren Blake. Lauren Blake was rumored to be dating Bilzerian in the summer of 2016. Blake is an Instagram model, and we assume they met online. The dating rumor started after the pair were snapped out vacationing at a few tropical destinations. They had been seen out in Miami, Milan, and Prague. Following his usual pattern, the two only dated for a few months before splitting. When Lauren was young, she decided to pursue a career in the sciences. She studied biochemistry in college and also spent 8 years working in hospitals and medical facilities to become more familiar with the field. Although she chose this path, she had always wanted to be a model but never thought to pursue it. As she got older, it became clear she could model as a career, and that's when she decided to take it seriously. This is also when she met Dan. And finally, number 1, Lindsay Pellas. Lindsay Pellas is one of many girls that Dan has hooked up with over the years. It doesn't look like the pair ever officially dated, but rather they partied a few nights together. Dan is known for his wild lifestyle of drinking, partying, and being surrounded by beautiful women. The people who surround Dan usually wonder if it's true or if that lifestyle is all for show. Lindsay Pellas went on the Hollywood Raw podcast to set the record straight about his life, confirming that what we see on Instagram is 100% true. When asked about the huge parties with crowds of women, the model said, quote, "Absolutely, it's all real, which is crazy, 100%. Adding, quote, "It was so interesting to me that the first time we met, I actually came home and I wrote the entire story down. Like I had 10 pages of when I met Dan Bilzerian, because it was the wildest night." She went on to describe how they met on Halloween night at the Playboy Mansion. She said that a security guard came up to her and asked if she wanted to meet Dan Bilzerian. She said yes, and when she went over to him, he immediately complimented her on her physique. She then remembered going back to his place, and she could not believe the insane amount of wealth that he had. Adding, quote, "But the whole thing was real. He is the real deal."
At number 10, we Candace Swanepoel. Rumors started to circulate that Kanye and Candace were rumored to be dating after the two were spotted mingling at an event during the New York Fashion Week. However, it was also said that the pair's relationship was more business related than personal. An insider would then tell Entertainment Tonight that the two liked seeing each other and they were really happy with how things were going so far. So with one page saying that they were dating and one saying they weren't, their whole relationship started to look more like a PR stunt rather than a relationship at the end of the day. However, rumors were then fueled when Candace shared an Instagram story with a photo of the two standing behind blurred out glasses. So do you think Candace and Kanye were dating, or was it all just a publicity stunt? And let me know in the comments below. Are you liking this video so far? If so, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. At number 9, we have Alex Pfeiffer. Between 2002 and 2008, Kanye and the fashion designer dated on and off. So the two both met 2 years before Kanye had his breakthrough success. However, the pair would ultimately split in 2004. The couple would then reunite in 2005, and Kanye would pop the question by 2006. Unfortunately, the pair's relationship would start to fall apart after the passing of Kanye's mother, and the two would split for good in 2008. Alexis would then tell People magazine after their split that it was always sad when things came to an end, and that the two would always remain friends. She then went on to say that she wished him the best, and he was one of the most talented people she ever met. At number 8, we have Amber Rose. So after Kanye split from Alexis Pfeiffer, Kanye quickly found himself in another relationship, and at this time it was with Amber Rose. Now essentially, Amber and Kanye would split over his relationship with Kim Kardashian, and ever since Amber and Kanye split, he's done nothing but make fun of her for it. Now back in 2015, during an interview with The Breakfast Club, Kanye decided to insert himself in the beef between the Kardashian family and Amber Rose, which seemed to stem from Amber commenting on Tyga's relationship with Kylie Jenner. Kanye would go on to say that if Kim dated him when he wanted to be with her first, then there wouldn't have ever been an Amber Rose. Rose. He then went on to say it's really hard for a woman to be with a man after they find out that man's been with Amber Rose, and he had to take around 30 showers before he could get with Kim Kardashian. Now it's clear that Kanye has always been obsessed with Kim for quite some time, and it's probably why he's acting out now. At number 7 we have Julia Fox. So nearly 1 year after Kanye split from Kim Kardashian, Kanye found himself forming a new bond with Julia Fox. However, shortly before Julia and Kanye went public with their relationship, Kanye went on a rant where he asked his wife Kim Kardashian to come back to him. Unsurprisingly, plenty of people started to speculate that Kanye and Julia's relationship was all just a publicity stunt, and it was used in an attempt to get Kim Kardashian back. What added more fuel to the stunt is that Kanye would buy Julia a whole new wardrobe and would pay a photographer to take pictures of the two while they were on dates together. Stunt or not, the public was definitely amused with watching these two. However, just months after things began, the two quickly started to break things off, and they did it quietly. So clearly his relationship to get back at Kim wasn't working, and he had to find another way. At number 6 we have Shani Jones. So when Kanye started dating Shani, many were quick to call out the Instagram model for being Kim Kardashian's clone. However, 5 months of dating, the flame between the two finally fizzled out and the pair split. Fans then speculated that Kanye and Shani had split after they noticed she deleted all but 2 photos on her Instagram page. The couple reportedly broke up after a recent trip to Japan. It's unclear with who broke up with who, but insiders have said that the two split mutually as things just fizzled out. Now the two were first romantically linked back in February when they were photographed shopping in Miami together. Unfortunate for Shani though, just before the pair split, she did have Kanye's name tattooed on her left wrist. Now if you're looking to get a tattoo with your significant other, let this be a warning, it's probably not the best to get their names tattooed on you because nothing lasts forever, but a tattoo is pretty much with you for life. At number 5 we have Vine Tria. Now it's speculated that Vine Tria and Kanye West split after she couldn't take competing with Kim Kardashian any longer. After hooking up for a couple of months, the two decided to call it quits, and Vine Tria even would unfollow Kanye on Instagram. Now the pair was first spotted back together in early November when they attended Kanye's Donda Academy debut basketball game, and Vine Tria started to be seen at all of Kanye's Sunday service events up until after their split. Now neither Kanye, Vine Tria, or their reps have commented on why the pair split. However, Kanye must have done something very serious to make her delete every aspect of him from her life. At number 4 we have Irina Shayk. So Kanye and Irina had a relationship that many didn't see coming. For months after Kim Kardashian filed for divorce in 2021, Kanye would be spotted with the Russian supermodel in Paris, and in May, Kanye would connect with Irina and they would keep things casual for a month. However, by July, things started to cool off between the two and they stopped speaking as much as they used to. Irina then came to the realization that she just wanted to be friends and just to keep communication open. However, she started to pull back a bit. Irina did really like Kanye, however she wasn't ready for so many public appearances together, and by August the two had decided to call it quits, and a source even told publication outlets that it was never a serious thing that took off. At number 3 we have Brooke Crediton. So Kanye and Brooke started dating in 2005 when they met backstage at a gig. The two then decided to go on a date and they even started to attend award shows together. The two would date for 2.5 years before Kanye's deep-rooted insecurities became too much for her to handle. So Brooke reported that Kanye needed people to tell him he was good and that he was wanted. Brooke also noted that Kanye definitely has appreciation for feminism and has a curiosity for it, but his obsession with women was more sophisticated than that. Brooke also thought for the longest time Kanye would never pair off with someone completely until he met Kim Kardashian. Now the two did decide to split because eventually the flame between them fizzled out and the relationship just wasn't advancing any further. At number 2 we have Sum K Rainey. So when Kanye first started out in the music business, he started dating his high school sweetheart Sum K Rainey. It would then later be her father who gave Kanye records which he would then sample on his 2004 debut album College Dropout. In the album, Kanye had a song called Never Let Me Down where he references the promise he made to her father that he would eventually marry her. However, Kanye would know things became different when he rose to stardom and he cheated on her and therefore had to leave her. Other than that, nothing's been much known about their relationship, so it's unclear when officially they did call it quits. However, it was sometime around the late 90s. And at number 1 we have Kim Kardashian. So after Kim ended her 72 marriage with Kris in 2012, she would then start to date Kanye. After having a long-standing friendship, Kanye was finally able to wiggle his way out of the friend zone and he started to date the girl of his dreams. By December of 2012, Kim and Kanye would announce that they were expecting their first child, and by 2013, Kanye would finally be ready to settle down and he would pop the question. The pair would then wed met in 2014 in Florence, Italy, and they would go on to grow their family. However, since Kim and Kanye have gone through a roller coaster of up and downs throughout their relationship, Kim would then file for divorce on February 19th, 2021. Now, Kanye hasn't taken this divorce well, and ever since he's been on a downward spiral, which has not affected not only his health negatively, but his career as well. Kim has since been focusing on her family, and he's even tried moving on with Pete Davidson. However, Kanye caused a lot of outbursts over their relationship, which ultimately caused Pete and Kim to call things off. I don't think Kanye is ever gonna fully move on from Kim, and his recent outburst proved that.
At number 8, Caroline Flack. When Harry Styles was still a rising star on the X Factor, he had his first celebrity hookup. Though it may have been fun in the beginning, it also ultimately led to Harry being in his first scandal. Again, quite early on in his career. He completely bounced back from it, but at the time, this sneaky link was big news. Back when Harry was on the X Factor, he developed a crush on the show's presenter, Caroline Flack. Caroline wrote about this little crush in her autobiography, Storm in a Sea Cup, where she revealed that Harry's crush on her was no secret, saying, quote, "I already knew that he had a crush on me. He made it pretty obvious. He said it in magazines, and he said it to his friends." End quote. Ultimately, they started dating when Harry was 17 and Caroline was 31. All was well with them until suddenly things got complicated. One day, paparazzi captured images of Harry leaving Caroline's house and a scandal began. Caroline shared her thoughts on what happened next in her book, writing, quote, "It began to go wrong when Harry was pictured coming out of my house one morning. And once that was out, it was open season. After that, anyone could say anything. In the street, people started shouting at me." End quote. Things got so bad that Caroline even started receiving threats from One Direction fans, ultimately ending her relationship with Harry. At number 7, Taylor Swift. Now this next one I'm sure you were familiar with because there was so much drama going on between fan bases it was hard to miss. For a brief time between 2012 and 2013, Harry Styles and Taylor Swift were a couple. We don't really know that much about their relationship because it was kept so private, but there are images captured by paparazzi that confirm that they were together. The most information we have about their time together came after their breakup though, because this is where the drama began, but in song form of course. It is believed that there is somewhere between 4 and 6 songs about this relationship released by both Harry and Taylor. Many fans believe that the songs Style, Out of the Woods, I Knew You Were Trouble, and I Wish You Would, all by Taylor Swift, are about Harry in some way or another. Fans think that the release of these songs is what prompted Harry to release a few songs of his own about Taylor. It is thought that the songs Perfect and Two Ghosts are about Taylor Swift. Though not much is known about their time together, fans did get a handful of bangers out of this little entanglement. Before we carry on talking about the juicy hookups that Harry Styles had, why not take a moment to leave a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and while you're at it, consider subscribing to the channel to see more videos like this one. At number 6, Nicole Scherzinger. Now this next hookup doesn't have much information to it, but it's pretty juicy, and it's one celebrity hookup that I never knew about, so I had to include it on this list. Back in 2013, the Sun publication reported that Harry Styles had allegedly hooked up with Pussycat Dolls singer Nicole Scherzinger. Nicole was a judge on the X Factor back when Harry was on the show back in 2010, and so that's where people think things started between the two. When this alleged hookup happened, Harry was 19 while Nicole was 35. Fans thought that this age gap between the two performers was a little strange, while others didn't really see much issue with it since they were both adults. What's your take on this age gap? Is it weird or perfectly fine? Leave your thoughts down in the comments. At number 5, Georgia Fowler. After a handful of other relationships and hookups, Harry Styles moved on to having a relatively short-lived relationship with New Zealand-based model Georgia Fowler back in 2015. Fans found out about their little fling when Georgia posted a video of the two of them playing Scrabble on her Snapchat.
No, that's where I need to go.
Though their time together was brief, fans have suspected that Harry's song Kiwi is about Georgia because Kiwi is a common nickname for people from New Zealand. This suspicion has never been confirmed, and when asked about the song, Georgia has expressed confusion as to why people have associated her with the song, as she said in an interview, quote, "Really don't know anything about it. Definitely don't have a baby. That's what the song is about." End quote. What do you guys think? Could the song be about her? At number 4, Kendall Jenner. This next relationship slash hookup is a little complicated because they were kind of on and off. Kendall Jenner and Harry Styles had a brief relationship back in 2013 when they were spotted having dinner together in LA in November of that year. The couple ended up splitting up a few months later in February 2014, but the following year in 2015, they sparked up their relationship once again after they were spotted spending New Year's together on a yacht. About a week after the couple was spotted together, fan suspicions were confirmed by Kendall's sister Chloe when she told Entertainment Weekly that Kendall and Harry were in fact dating, saying, quote, "Do I think they're dating? Yes. I don't know if they're like boyfriend-girlfriend. Nowadays, I don't know. People are weird with stuff. So I don't know their title." End quote. Not much was seen of the couple after that until they were spotted again a few months later in April 2016 when the pair were seen shopping together in LA. This, however, came about during a time when Kendall was also rumored to be dating Lakers player Jordan Clarkson. After that, things went dark again until October 2016 when they were spotted together one last time while having dinner. Fans thought that this might have been their next attempt at having a relationship, though nothing was ever confirmed. At number 3, Camille Rowe. One of Harry Styles' more recent relationships was with Victoria's Secret model Camille Rowe a couple years back from 2017 to 2018. Fans were quick to catch on to this relationship as some of the most invested fans noticed Harry's voice in the background of one of Camille's Instagram stories. This relationship seemed to be a little more serious than ones in the past, as it was said that Harry introduced Camille to his family. They were also seen being cute out in public as Harry was spotted carrying Camille's purse. Unfortunately though, Harry and Camille ended up breaking up after about a year together. Even though their relationship ended, they still seemed pretty close, as they were spotted by one of Harry's fans having lunch together in LA, giving the fan base a little hope that the couple would be getting back together. Unfortunately for the fans though, that never ended up happening. At number 2, Kiko Mizuhara. Now this next one is more rumor and speculation than anything else, but fans were convinced that Harry Styles had some kind of relationship with Kiko Mizuhara. In early 2019, a rumor started going around suggesting that Harry Styles was dating actress, model, and singer Kiko Mizuhara. When this rumor eventually circled back to Kiko, she tried to shut it down. Kiko took to Twitter to try and tell her fans that there was nothing going on between her and Harry when she said, quote, "It's been reported that Harry Styles and I have been in a relationship, but I have no relationship with him and have never met him. The world is full of fake news. People believe what they want to believe rather than questioning reality." End quote. Despite this tweet, however, fans debunked Kiko's statement as her cover was blown about a month after making that tweet. Kiko was spotted at Harry's 25th birthday party in Tokyo, and there's even video evidence to back it all up. They weren't seen getting too close, but fans were still convinced that there was something going on between the two celebrities. And finally, at number 1, Olivia Wilde. This is Harry's current relationship, and it seems to be going pretty well so far. Rumors of their relationship started back in late 2020 as they got closer while working on Olivia's film Don't Worry Darling after Harry got the part that Shia LaBeouf was fired from. The couple officially confirmed their relationship in early 2021, and those close to them have said that they are going strong. On the topic of their relationship, sources have said, quote, "They have gotten serious quickly and have an intense connection," end quote. Olivia and Harry have been spending a lot of time together. Olivia has been spotted at many of Harry's concerts, dancing and showing support for her man, and they've even been seen traveling together. Over the summer last year, Harry and Olivia were seen vacationing together in southern Italy, and it's also been reported that the couple is renting a house together. Things seem to be going quite well with them, so I hope things continue on a positive path for them.
First up, we have American English actress Sienna Miller. Sienna and Channing know of each other through their shared work on G.I. Joe over the years, and some fans have hinted at theories that there could still possibly be some chemistry there now. Sienna has been reported to be a recently single parent, which perfectly matches Channing's life description as far as we know at the moment, so it could very well be a good time for them to fall in love. Not to mention the two got super cozy back in 2013 when Channing began staying over at Sienna's house. And in another funny string of events, Sienna and her then fiance Tom Sturridge also crashed at Channing's New York City apartment at the time. So basically, since they've already swapped houses one time ago, what would be more fabulous than them swapping hearts? I'm kinda here for it. The next celebrity to take this list by storm is beloved rapper-songwriter Cardi B. Now, please don't ask me where these string of rumors came from because I honestly don't know how they originated. What I do know, surprisingly, however, is how much fans low-key ship these two together. Oddly enough, I'd say they'd be quite the elite couple if the Bodak Yellow artist wasn't already wifed up to Offset, and Channing wasn't out here living his best supposedly single life. Just imagine how frenzied the media would become over this pairing though. Anyway, I've just recently discovered that there have been supposed whispers around Hollywood as early as January of last year about Cardi working alongside Channing for a remake of the classic 1992 film The Bodyguard. So that's where this all started. While some people are pretty against the idea of Cardi going up against the iconic work of Whitney Houston for the leading role and doing the OG justice, others are excited about the possibilities of the film and hope Cardi spins the tracks in her signature styled way. The remake is reportedly supposed to follow its original work storyline to a T, with Channing rumored to play the role of Cardi's character's bodyguard, hence the title. And who knows, maybe they'll fall in love on set and Channing will be the man to sweep her off her feet and give Cardi the fairy tale she seems to be missing with Offset. Unlikely, but a girl can dream. Next up, we have the Olivia Munn and Channing Tatum rumors. Olivia is another co-star of Channing's to be tangled in an apparent romantic link to the actor. The two worked together on Magic Mike, and there is no doubt about how good they looked in their scenes. Plus, it helps that Olivia and her latest boyfriend to date, Tucker Roberts, split back in August 2019. According to sourced records, Olivia is indeed still single, which is also a huge win for Channing if he ever wants to go down a list of his former co-stars to date. Channing and Olivia made headlines in every pop culture news outlet you can think of when they hit up the beach to film scenes on a large boat docked in Tampa, Florida. They flaunted their bodies and the paparazzi pretty much had a field day with their cameras, if I can say one thing about it. As I'm sure we all know, Magic Mike is semi-based on Channing's former experiences of being an exotic dancer when he was 19 in Tampa, so there's no surprise how in shape he was to film his scene, right alongside Olivia, whose body also looked straight off a magazine cover. The two stunned with their gorgeous visuals, and when Olivia had to describe down the road what sharing with Channing was like during a June cover shoot, she recalls it being a weird experience with the filming cameras, but that the two were already comfortable enough to not make it a big deal. If that doesn't scream potential soulmate to you, I'm just not sure what else will. Up next, we have Channing's first official confirmed relationship known to date. Channing and singer-songwriter Jessie J reportedly started dating in October 2018, but the relationship didn't reach the public until a month later, when Jessie shared an Instagram post to the app at the Magic Mike London opening night. Fans were quick to keep themselves posted with the two's love story as they followed along through social media captions and comments. It seemed all was well until reports started leaking about the couple separating in December 2019. It was during this month that Jessie uploaded a cryptic message concerning love and life. In summary, it reads, "Go somewhere where your world feels and looks small. Gain perspective. Lay in the sea. Walk to the top of a mountain. Drive to a viewpoint in the park. Look up at the stars. This isn't to make you feel like your problems or sadness or the feelings you feel are not valid, but to know you are never alone." Not much ended up happening between that post and the end of the year, but the two seemingly re-emerged through a January 2020 reunion. Their photos were first shared to Instagram at that point, and they made a red carpet appearance together at Clive Davis's pre-Grammys gala. Conclusively though, they didn't last, as for the second time they called it quits in April 2020. In light of their breakup, Channing reportedly reopened an account for a previous dating app he once used. But despite this sounding messy AF, their split was supposedly friendly, and there was a mutual agreement to keep the love but remain friends. Before meeting his soon-to-be wife in the dance-inspired film Step Up, Channing co-starred opposite Amanda for their 2006 sports-centric rom-com. Channing had already been known to keep a pretty low profile about his romantic affairs before this iconic role. However, rumors that he was in a relationship with his co-star in 2006 soon emerged. And well, that's why she made it on our countdown today. Unfortunately for us though, despite photos of the actors kissing and splashing tabloids at one point, neither of the two stars ever confirmed their fling. So of course, much like a few others on the list, this is mere speculation. To be fair though, it has been reportedly chalked up to them filming, while pesky paparazzi and gossipy blogs spun it into far more. I guess we'll never truly know though. Now comes the former Mrs. Tatum. Channing and Jenna Dewan met on the set of the Step Up film, and they made their debut as an acting couple at the Los Angeles premiere of the movie. The two engaged almost 2 years later in September 2008 and tied the knot in the summer of 2009. They gave birth to their daughter Everly Tatum shortly after, who joined the couple on May 31st, 2013. A lot of people thought this relationship would last from what I heard, but unfortunately the two announced their separation via a joint Instagram statement in April 2018. 2018. Despite their amazing timeline, their statement detailed in short, "We have lovingly chosen to separate as a couple. We fell deeply in love so many years ago and have had a magical journey together. Absolutely nothing has changed about how much we love one another, but love is a beautiful adventure that is taking us on different paths for now." Their divorce was finalized in November 2019. Following their split, Channing ditched the co-star dating rumors and newlywed life to turn to another source of dating, and that was through an app known as Raya. This elite members-only dating network was something of a quote rite of passage for the newest Hollywood single bros. As Channing entered the air quote Raya-verse, he joined a top-notch squad of male celebrity counterparts who had the likes of Joe Jonas, John Mayer, and Niall Horan to name a few. An unnamed source dished to E! News about how Channing was enjoying Raya over his few weeks of joining. Quote, "He would love to be dating someone and is not shy about it. He wants to have fun again, and he doesn't care if he meets someone online, a setup, or just walking down the street." According to sources who spoke with US Weekly, Channing has hopes of wooing a potential lover with a profile song by D'Angelo which reads, "Yes, I used to be a stripper. Sorry." We love the simplicity. Finally, we have his latest semi-confirmed relationship to date with actress, singer, model, and daughter of famous parents Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet, Zoe Kravitz. The two were once linked following a meeting about Zoe's directorial debut. They sparked massive romance rumors in August 2021 from the East Village, where Zoe was comfortably photographed on the back of Channing's bike. But the relationship wasn't technically confirmed until August 27th, though not by Channing nor Zoe. According to an ET source, the source stated they've been together, quote, "It started out as a friendship and eventually turned to be more." The duo was recently spotted at a restaurant in New York City being very affectionate. In March, another source spoke with Page Six about the couple's plans to start a future together. Regardless, because their relationship was never vocally confirmed by either celebrity, it seems their breakup has been pretty hush-hush as well. But loads of sources rumor that Channing is currently single again and looking for his next lover. Here's to hoping he finds the one.